All right, Detroit, we are back and we are here at the 2023 NHL entry draft. Now, like I said in the last video, I don't want to trade up for picks. I think we have all the pieces we need. And if we're going to trade up for picks, that means we don't think we have enough top end players, which I think we do. Just to give you guys a little sneak peek at the core I am building for the future. We are looking at Larkin, Sider, Raymond, Zadina, and then, so with those three forwards, I think we have a decent forward core for the future. Zadina should get a big bump here coming up in this season. And then we also have Marco Kasper down here, who should also get a good bump going into next season, so he will be still down in the AHL. Probably same with Edvinsson, maybe one more year. But I don't think that we really need to try and draft any more top end forwards or defensemen. I think we're going to build with Hronek and Sider. And then we can build through free agency to fill out the roster. And then the draft is actually just going to be looking for, I think, bottom sixes throughout the year. Maybe we can get some second line players late in the first round, but I think we are trying to build for depth through the draft because I think we already have our full pieces up front. So we are going to hop straight into the draft here. And then we will get into the contract situation after. So we did see in the last video, Carolina went from 9th all the way to 1st in the draft lottery, which is crazy that a team with Teravainen and Aho and Svechnikov and that kind of team is going to get Connor Bedard. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is sim to pick. Oh, we have 17th. Nice. That's not too bad at all. So let's go ahead. Yeah, Connor Bedard right here. Lindback is an 80 overall elite medium center two-way forward for the Buffalo Sabres. That's really good for them. We got Waite here, 79 overall medium elite sniper for the Sharks. That's nice. Carlson, center playmaker for the Penguins. Probably looking to replace Crosby when he retires. Morozov, medium elite. Dvorsky, medium elite. Jaeger, medium elite. Benson, medium elite. And then Sale, top 6. Lindstein, top 4. Crystal top 6, Levis top 6, Allen top 4, Halton in medium elite down here to the Ottawa Senators at 69 overall. That's interesting. Top 9 high for Gauthier, Danielson top 6 medium, and now us. So realistically, I'm probably not going to have too many people fully scouted down here. But realistically, like this Brustovich guy, I think wouldn't be an awful option. I'll probably get a top 4 medium out of here. I think that might not be a bad option just to build defense a little more. We have Emil Yarventi here, who I have heard through the grapevine is actually a decent pickup. I don't know anything about these top guys. They have potential X factors. Let's see if any are guaranteed. Cote, not guaranteed. Riley Haight, not guaranteed. And then I don't think we're going to get any more down here. But I'm thinking we go defense. I'm thinking Hunter Brustovich, I'm thinking is who we go for. Hopefully top 4 medium two-way. I'm really hoping not a defensive defenseman. He has great leadership ability and no weaknesses, which is good, and a guarantee NHL ETA of 2 years. So hopefully top 4 medium, maybe like in the high 60s. We're going with Hunter Brustovich. We got top 4, high 60s. Nice. Okay. So that's what I was definitely looking for. We don't have a second round pick, but let's just go ahead. Maybe a goalie. Is there a goalie somewhere in the second round? Because second round goalies usually are pretty good. Nah, 79th, so definitely not. After this, we have a guaranteed top 6 low. We have Oliver Bonk, another defenseman. I could take a shot at him. Let's try Oliver Bonk. Top 4 low two-way defenseman, 67 overall. Not bad, not bad. We could probably get that to work at some point. Nah, we don't want to do that. Let's get another depth pick in the second round. Let's go ahead and take all this out. And let's go ahead and make our last second round pick here. Now, no defenseman here. Any potential X factors? None on him. None on him. Center. None here. None here. There is some on this DeLuca guy. He's got a lot potentially. Caden Price also has one, and it's a 1 bar. What about Morin? It says he has a potential gold. Interesting. And he's a defenseman. Etienne Morin. He's got decent points as a defenseman. Probably offensive. You know what? We're going to try him. Let's see. Top 6 medium. Not bad. And he does have the send it superstar ability. Okay. If we can get him up to like an 80, 81, 82, maybe as a top 6, that might be a great pickup. He can play on the power play, on like the third line power play, maybe get it a +1. That is a nice pickup. We got a superstar ability there. So go to pick 81. This is the last pick I'm actually going to make. It looks like a defense heavy draft for us. Almost guaranteed top 6. Let's see, Grayson Sawchin. Oh, that's a lot of potential X factors. We could try for him. I'm assuming it's probably gonna be at about maybe a top 9 low, so might not be too effective. Or we could go with PJ Forgione. We might be able to get something out of this. NHL ETA 5 years, not even guaranteed. Does Sachin have any NHL ETA? 5 years guaranteed. I think we go defense heavy. PJ Forgione. Let's try it. Top 6 medium. Okay, he is a defensive defenseman. But 6'4", 205, that definitely gets us some size and maybe some depth for the future. So I'm not upset about that. Now, we're not going to make the 177th overall pick. We're just going to sim the draft from here. And let's go ahead and check out our contract situation now. So I do like our draft there. We have 2 more defensemen for the future that are coming in. So let's go ahead and sim to the re-sign phase. We can go ahead and get all those when we go in to do the contracts. All right, so now we have to focus on getting our main pieces back. So let's go ahead and just go to all expiring and sort by overall. So our main pieces are going to be Larkin, Bertuzzi, Keandre Miller, Sundqvist is not, Valimaki is. And then after that, we will have to decide based on how much money they want. So we have $40 million in cap space. So we definitely have enough to get everyone we need signed. So Larkin, do I want to go? I don't really want to go 8 years. I'm going to see if I can get him on. I want to go with Bertuzzi kind of being the end of the guaranteed cup runs. So Bertuzzi only has top 6 exact right now. So I don't want to sign him past 33 years old. So five years is actually what I want to go for. Let's try to get 5 years at $6 million for Bertuzzi. As far as Larkin goes, I would like to drop him down to 5 years. Maybe we can do at like 8.3 at 5 years would be nice to get him at. As far as Keandre Miller goes, what kind of contract? He wants 6 years. Let's take it down to 5 and we can do like 4.2. Let's see if he'll accept that. Oscar Sundqvist, we're not going to worry about yet. Valimaki, let's see if we can get him on a 5-year deal. 5-year deal at 4, maybe? I would be good with that. We can actually make Valimaki, so we want to go 5 or less. Valimaki, sorry about the dog bark. Valimaki, we can go at 3 years, and I'll try to do him at like 3.2. Let's see if we can do that for Valimaki, because see if he grows. We can take him for the first year that he's not grown. Lindstrom, I don't think he's going to grow anymore, unfortunately. So we're going to leave him as potential depth for the future. Joe Veleno definitely could grow. What does he cost for 5 years? I'm willing to bank on that. I'm willing to put $2 million into Joe Veleno for the next 5 years in the hopes that he's worth $2 million. So let's go ahead and offer him that. Any other pieces down here? McIsaac. He is only interested in a two-way. But yeah, we're just going to have to give McIsaac 1 year for now. Giovanni Smith, I'm not worried about getting long-term. William Wallander, let's go ahead and offer him his... he only wants 2 at an affordable price. Let's go ahead and do that. New Power, I know for sure he does not have a good enough potential to get any better for our AHL squad, so we're going to go ahead and release him. Andreasen, same thing, release him. Gonzalo, same thing, release him. Let's see. Okay, so after that, I think we're good on our expirings. We'll go ahead and come to these bottom guys much later to see if we want to get them. So what we're going to go ahead and do is head down to goalies. Now, Nedeljkovic, I am cool with signing as a backup. He doesn't want much time. What if we do 5 years? We could probably just lock in our backup at 5 years at 1.6. That wouldn't be too bad. And then these 2 guys we can just qualify. They should stick with us. And let's go ahead and advance day and see if we get all of these guys. So Bertuzzi we did get. Nedeljkovic we didn't. Larkin we did. Veleno we did. Miller, Valimaki, McIsaac, Wallander. So looks like we got everybody but Nedeljkovic. So here's the thing. At 5 years, I'm willing to give a backup goalie 2 mil. I think I am. We still have 20 mil in cap space. I think I'm fully willing to give Nedeljkovic, just keep him here for the rest of his career, and give him, let's do like 1.8. Maybe he'll take that. 1.8 at a guaranteed backup for the rest of his career here in Detroit. I think that's not bad, and then we can get to these guys after. Let's check and see if he signs. He signs. So we have $19.8 million of cap space. So what we're going to go ahead and do is, rather than all expiring, we're going to go to main roster. And we are going to go ahead and see what we are looking at for our forward core for the NHL. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're going to need... Now, Glendening on the 4th line, I'm not fully against. But, maybe finding... I mean, Glendening could also be our filler guy. He can be the guy we bring in for injuries, so we can sign... So we could go ahead and sign, I think, let me check Sundqvist's stats. I mean, he is relatively good defensively. He has decent stats everywhere. He's only a -3. How much money does he want? That's what's going to decide it. Okay, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with paying him, like, we could probably do 1.5 at 3 years. And that's a good contract to me. I think that's a very good contract for what he is. Glendening, we might even be able to get, let's go ahead and go down to 1 mil for 1 year. I'm good with that for Glendening. Adam Ernie, same kind of thing. I'm cool with, like, let's see if we can get him at 1.1 for 1 year. Matt Luff was good for the AHL squad, so we can go ahead and qualify Luff. We can qualify Smith. Chris Cuolo, we can go ahead and sign for depth in the AHL. It's not going to cost us much. Pearson, we can go ahead and qualify. Lombardi, this is his last year to sign, so we're going to go ahead and sign him this year. Niederbach, all these guys down here, I don't think I'm going to sign. So let's go ahead and release all of these depth AHL players. And then we can take a full look at what we have for NHL and AHL squad. We can worry about our AHL squad after we simulate through a bunch of the free agency, because those guys will still be available. So let's go ahead and... What are we going to look at if Sundqvist signs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're looking at that being 12, so maybe just signing some more 4th line depth wouldn't be a bad option. Let's take a look at our defensive Take a look at our defensive situation here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and get Osterley signed. We can do 1 year at... I mean, that's like a real contract. I could probably get a 2-way contract for someone. Let's see. What about Wallman? Wallman at 1 mil, I'm good with. Osterley... Because Edvinson will probably take first line time with Wallman. McIsaac. So if we have Edvinson and Wallman at first line time, McIsaac with Johansson, and then Wallander with like Sabrango. I'm good with that. So we have our 6 AHL defensemen. We can go ahead and go get depth if we need to. In free agency, so we need to worry about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want to sign another. So let's see, what kind of money does Hag want? I would rather go at a 1 year. We can do like 1.3 for Hag, and then same with Lindstrom. Hopefully around the same 1 year at like we can do 1.2 for Lindstrom. I think Osterley we might actually release. Go Wallman, Edvinson, McIsaac, Johansson, Wallander, Sabrango. I think I'm good with that. So let's go ahead and advance day and see if we get these guys signed. Glendening renewed. Ernie rejected. Hag renewed. Sunkfist rejected. Lindstrom renewed. Wallman renewed. Chris Cuolo renewed. Lombardi signed. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're looking at getting a 6th to play with Valimaki. And then Hag and Lindstrom. So then we have 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I am good with that. Now we're gonna have to load up here on trying to make sure we get everybody signed up. So Sunkfist rejected it at that dollar value. How much cap space do we have? We have $18 million in cap space. So I would be good with putting a little money towards Sunkfist. We're not going to worry about the top 2 lines this year. So Oscar Sunkfist, 3 years, we can do at 1.7. I'm good with that. That's not too much cap space. He does want an extension. Adam Ernie as our depth forward. I would be good with 1 year at like 1.5. He should sign for that. He wants the extension, so we should be good on that. And now, before we completely forget, we're going to go ahead and go to all skaters and unsigned. Let's make sure we get the guys signed that we want playing in the AHL this year. So, Forgian, I'm going to leave. He's not ready AHL time. Actually, theoretically, no one is, but Brustovic, actually, he has no X factors. Do I maybe leave him for 1 year? Bonk, no X factors. Who was the guy? So it was Morin who had X factors, but he's only 65 as a defenseman, and we already see the defenseman we want playing in the AHL. So I think I'm going to leave all these guys unsigned just for this year. We will go ahead and figure out what we want to do with them at the next off season. So honestly, I think we're looking like we're in a good spot. So, let's see. Yeah, I think we can advance day here. See if we get Sunkfist and Ernie. Ernie signed and Sunkfist signed. Okay, cool. So, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to patch it out. Let's go ahead and go to forwards and make sure we have our 12 actual starters that we want. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, we are going to need that 4th line depth. Glendening is going to go ahead. Glendening and Rasmussen and Ernie are either going to be splitting AHL time or be the injury reserve type players. They are going to be the guys who come in with injury. Are going to be these 3. So I'm not too worried about that. Veleno might even get a jump. Here's my thing is Rasmussen might get a jump. Veleno might get a jump. So, I mean, signing 79 and 80 overall players isn't going to cost a lot of money. So we can sign just specifically what we would be good with, either playing on fourth line or being the replacement players. Everyone else can go ahead and play in the AHL. Let's see. So our cutoff, we're going to assume, let's just say, is at Veleno. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're going to need some more AHL players. So let me go ahead and mark down in notes. We want 2 depth players for sure. Let's go free agents. Return, we want 2 fourth line depth. We want 2 AHL depth. So these are just for forwards. And then we know we have our AHL defenseman covered. Let's see about our NHL defenseman. We are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to want a 6th NHL defenseman. And then we have Hagen Lindstrom for our depth. We have Wallman, McIsaac, Edvinson. So it's 3, 4, 5, and 6 for our AHL defenseman. And then we have like Vero, who could come in and play. We might even want to sign this Barton guy. Let's go ahead and get him signed. But I don't think we're going to need more than 2 things of depth for AHL defensemen for injuries. So Osterley, sorry buddy, you're getting released. So I think we have the depth for the AHL. We have the depth for the NHL. We have, and then we need our 6th NHL defenseman, 2 fourth line depth, and 2 AHL depth forwards. So let's go ahead and get to the coaching staff, because we do have a retired coach. So our AHL assistant coach did retire. So we do have to sign an AHL. Can we not hire coaches from this screen? Oh, we can't hire anybody yet. Interesting. Okay, well, scouts, we should be able to see the yeah, so this guy, re-sign this scout, sure. Let's go ahead and get you in here. Yeah, that's all good for me. We are going to look at the beginning of the year, see if there's any better scouts that we can grab, but for now, we can't do any of that. We can't hire staff right now. So let's go ahead and sim to free agency and see if we can pick. So we did get Seth Barton, we got Jan Bednar, we got Pottelberg. Nice. And our scout re-signed, so that's good. Now, we are looking at needing, let's see, so let's go ahead and hop in free agency. We don't need any top line players. We're good on top line players. So like Patrick Kane is a no. Bergeron, no. Tarasenko, no. Hintz, no. Joe Pavelski, no. None of these guys. We are looking for players that we wouldn't even mind benching if some of our younger players jump up. So we're going to be looking down here, and we want two-way forwards, grinders, or power forwards, that type of thing. So someone like Jonas Donskoy, maybe. He wants 2 years, though. I don't really want to give 2 years. He wouldn't be a bad option, but we'll come back to it. Depth forward in Hinostroza. Not the defensive stats I'm looking for. We're looking at Tanner Jeannot, who's a grinder. I don't think that would be a bad option. He's got a lot of penalty minutes, but good defensive stats. So Tanner Jeannot wouldn't be a bad option. I'm looking for kind of cheaper than that, though. So what about Donato? Ryan Donato. He's got decent defensive stats. What about even down a little more? What about like Ian Mitchell? He's a defenseman. No. So you know what? Let's go forwards. Let's go unrestricted free agents. And let's go ahead and get back down into here. So what we're looking at is Obey Kubel. No, not good enough defensive stats for me. Ryan Donato. He's got decent defensive stats. Hinostroza, no. Who was the other guy I was looking at? It was... Sorry about the barking, guys. Matt Nieto. Oh, it was Donskoy. So Donskoy would not be a bad option. He wants 2 years. Theoretically, he's going to be cheap. I could toss the 2 years on. I don't think I'm going to get contested for him. He is pretty cheap, so getting Jonas Donskoy wouldn't be a bad option. Let's go ahead and offer him the contract. And then I think Matt Nieto would be the other good option. Or where was Tanner Jeannot? Yeah, I like that grinder, and he only wants 1 year, so I'd be good to give him 1 year at 2.175. Let's go ahead and offer him that. Now, we need 2 AHL depth, so we're going to go all the way down. And what we're going to be looking for AHL depth is potential players who might be able to grow. So let's see what we're looking at. I think we have all these top areas covered. We don't want to limit like Soderblom, Berggren, Casper on line time. So we're going to go ahead and go way down here. I'm thinking 73 max. So let's go ahead and head down here. There we are. So like top 9, or you know what we could do? Let's just go ahead and sort by potential. And then let's see what we find. So we're looking for low 70s. That's a little too low. 74 Blickfield, top 4 or top 6 medium. I mean, he's already 24, but that's not too bad. Blickfield might not be a bad option. Let's go ahead. He wants a 2-way contract, so we can go ahead and offer him that. Let's see. What about some of these guys? Top 6 low. Tyler Madden. That's not too bad. Patrick Pistola. That's 60 overall. What about Poling? That's 77 overall. I would like something a little lower than that. Something like here. Yeah, Abruzzese. Nick Abruzzese. Let's get him. Go ahead and offer him the contract. And then we need a 6th NHL defenseman. So what we're looking at here is someone down in this 82 or lower range. So we technically do have money, so I wouldn't mind going for like a Kyle Clifton. We're not going to grab Olimata. He's a little too much money and a little too old. Not old, but a little too much money. But someone like, I think, no, that's not. It's Connor Clifton. Connor Clifton. He was a plus 23 last year, played all 82 games. Good defensive stats. I like that. You know what? We're going for Connor Clifton, saying it right here, right now. 28 years old. He can fit into our next 3-year build here. He can be our 6th defense, like on our bottom 3 pair for the next 3 years. I like that. We're gonna jump that up to 2.5. Hopefully he'll sign with us. Now I don't need any other defensemen, so I think that is where we're going to go. I think we're going to go Connor Clifton. So let's go ahead and advance a couple days. Now, is there anywhere where we can like hire staff? Was the screen? Oh, I saw hire staff over there. I did see hire staff. Okay. So, oh, actually we can do it now. So hire coaches. Let's go ahead and we're just going to take a look at what is available. So we do have a bunch of A's here. They're all NHL head coaches, and teams are interested except for this Turner guy. Now, this Turner guy would not be a bad option to get our offensive defense way up there. He's A+ in both. I like that a lot. He's a forwards NHL head coach. He wants 6.2 million. What does our head coach look like for all those stats? I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's definitely less than that. We might want to go after that guy. All right, Barlow, you're hitting the deck. Let's hire coach, and we want to go after that guy. All right, so Turner, head coach at A, offense and defense at A+. Let's give you some money. Let's give you some money here. So we're going to go ahead and give him 6.6. He's a great coach, Braden Turner. Let's go ahead and get him signed. Hopefully we can. We're the only team interested, so it shouldn't be too bad. Now let's see about the rest of our coaches. So the goalie coach, we're not really going to touch, but assistant coach is B-. Our associate coach is B- and assistant coach at C. Let's see if there are any that are better than those. Let's see. Associate coach, we're looking at a B. Hamill as an assistant coach. Very good power play. So he's a special teams coach, so that's not bad. That would get our special teams up there. This guy is also a great special teams coach. So let's go ahead and see. So her boss, let's see. So our associate coach. So her boss would take both of those up to an A+, which I really, really like. So you know what? We're going to do a whole revamp of the coaching scenario. So Travika, you're also gone. Let's go and get that her boss guy. So where was he? We need to go to associate coaches and sort by overall and her boss. So the associate coach is going to be switched to her boss. Now, we do have a D for offense, so what we're going to try to do is get an offensive and defensive-minded coach with teaching and coach influence for our assistant coach. But her boss looks really nice. So let's go ahead and sign him as our associate coach. Let's go ahead and give him some money. Take him up to about $1 million. There we go, $1 million even, Radic her boss. And now let's take a look at our assistant coach. Is he generally good for offense, defense, teaching, and influence? So his influence is an A, offense is C, B-. Let's see what other assistant coaches there are for those 4 categories. So let's go ahead and just sort by assistant coaches. Now they are at C's, but maybe someone like this guy. What does he look like? He doesn't have a good team fit. What about Hillen? He's got a great team fit. All right, so we're going to go for this Hillen guy. C, C-, B-, B-. So we're going to fire our assistant coach and we're going to hire Hillen. So let's go ahead. Myers, you are fired. And Hillen, let's go ahead and hire you. So we need to go to assistant coach, sort by overall. Hillen is right there. There he is. Let's go ahead and give him some money. We can pull him up to about 900K offer contract. And now I don't think there's going to be any good goalie coaches, but we can check. They're associate coaches, I think, that deal with goalies. No, where are they? Oh, I think they're only AHL coaches. Yeah, they're only AHL coaches. Let's see. So there's a D in there. D. There's a C, AHL head coach. The teaching specialty is goalie. Ooh. Hire him as the NHL goalie coach. Yeah, Tolofsson. All right. We are doing a full revamp of the NHL coaches. So, Radivojevic, you're gone. And he was an AHL head coach. So let's go hire. We are going to AHL head coaches. And let's try to find that guy. So not Hargrave. Who was the guy we were looking at? Let's just sort here. Goalies B-. Oh wait, it was Tolofsson, but Hargrave is here. I think we go Hargrave as the NHL goalie coach. Hargrave. We go NHL goalie coach. Let's go ahead and give him some money. 900K up at the NHL goalie coach. And I think we had our AHL, I think we already got our AHL assistant coach, but I'm not sure. Let's see, AHL assistant coach, do we have any approached? I don't think so. So this is the guy that retired that we're going to have to replace. So let's go ahead and just sort by overall. I want teaching to be primarily there. So B- here. I do still want them to be able to perform. So C- isn't awful for the C- offense and C- defense. Yeah, let's go ahead and get Kanajek for the AHL assistant coach. Zdenka Kajanek. Offer contract. There we go. Okay, so I think we have everybody approached that we need for coaches. Let's go ahead and just take a look at all. We're gonna have a fully revamped NHL coaching staff. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is, now that we've approached everybody, let's start advancing days. and see who we get and who we don't get as far as free agents and coaches. So advanced day, nobody. Let's see. Braden Turner, we got the big head coach. That's good. Patrick Hillen is signed. That's nice. I don't feel the quality of your roster matches the challenges. So Joaquin Hargrave wanted a bad team to work with, which is interesting. Let's see what else. Zdenka Kajanek is on the squad, so that's good. So let's go ahead and just take a look at the coaching staff. See what pieces we're still missing. So the NHL associate coach and the NHL goalie coach. So let's go back into hire coaches. Now we need an NHL associate coach. Do we have anyone approached? Yeah, we still have Herbos. So we really want Herbos to sign with us. And then the goalie coach is where we're really gonna need to find somebody. So let's see. I think there was a different goalie coach in here with a decent overall. Were they in? So let's just go all and sort here. Excuse me for the burp. Let me get a drink of water while we're scrolling. All right, we're getting close. So should be there in a second. All right, so we do need a goalie coach. Now, like I said, so teaching is an A. That's going to be really nice for if we get him in and keep him in until Kosa comes up. Enroth. A minus. We have an A on this guy. Hargrave, he denied it. So we can't approach Hargrave. What? Oh yeah, Tollefson. This was the guy we were looking at. So Tollefson wouldn't be a bad option. So let's try and go Tollefson as the NHL goalie coach. Now I know we're negative, but I just want to make sure we get these coaches. This is the one part I will cheese is hiring coaches because they aren't very strict about the salary. So let's see if we can get Urbas and Tollefson for our coaching staff. That would be really nice. And let's just keep advancing day here. So no free agents have come back to us. I'm really hoping we get who we want. Herbos is in. Nice. Let's see, incoming trade. No, I like the way the team is built right now. Let's go ahead and decline and edit the block, take everybody off of it, and let's keep going forward. So we need Tollefson. So we got Connor Clifton, we got Tanner Janot, we got Donskoy, Abrazazi, Blickfield. Nice. Okay. Our staff chemistry is not low, but thanks, Tollefson. We do have Tollefson now on the roster. All right, so this is just going to get annoying throughout the offseason. So we're also going to clear the surpluses and the wants. Let's go ahead and just clear these off really quick. I don't know why that glitches out. I think I clicked it too quick. But get that off, and then the wants we're also going to clear because I like the way our team is built this year. So let's go ahead and clear off the wants as well. And let's keep moving forward. So now let's see, do we have any free agents? We have, so the way we can do it is contracts. Let's go see if we have everybody that we actually want. So we are looking at, let's go to forwards. NHL, we need 12 as our starting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have our 12 starters. Rasmussen being a sub if we need it, as well as Glendening. So I think I'll put Rasmussen down with Glendening being the filler. And then Rasmussen, Ernie, Veleno, Berggren, Zarnik. Okay, so I think we're going to be good there. Let's go ahead and go to defensemen. We're looking at that is depth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm good with that. Barton and then Vero are our depth. So I'm good with that. let's go ahead and take a look at our NHL defensive roster. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good with that. Hag is depth, and then Lindstrom will also be up for depth, so I like that. Okay, so I think we have all of our roster spots taken care of. We still have 14.5 mil of cap space, which is really nice because Sider is going to need a bigger contract. Hronek is going to need a bigger contract. Raymond is going to need a bigger contract. Kubalik probably not. Millard probably not. Roslovic definitely not. Anyone down here? Definitely not. But we are going to be looking at signing some of the younger players here in the coming years. So having a lot of cap space is nice for us. Let's just take a look and make sure our goalie situation is good. Husa Nedeljkovic. And then we have Kosa, Bednar, and then Padelberg is the guy that fills in if any of the goalies get injured down in the AHL. So I think we are good here. We are just waiting on coaches getting signed. So let's go ahead and advance a couple more days. Make sure we get that last coach signed. Tolofsson. Did we already get him signed? Am I tripping? Coaching staff. We already got him signed. Now, our NHL coaching staff chemistry is not good. Our AHL is very good. NHL is not too good. But I think the quality of them, we still should have a decent year. He's a decent team fit. It doesn't say anything about Urbas if he's a good fit, but I like his power play and his penalty kill. Hopefully we can get some good pluses on those because we have a good one for there. This guy is just a generalist. Overall morale is happy, and then the goalie coach we have here for just his all-around. We don't really need him to have offensive, but his teaching and his coach influence are what we got him for. So I don't think we're doing too bad on coaching staff, and our AHL coaching staff actually looks pretty good. So I think we are ready to hop into the next season. We are going to go ahead and get probably a month or two of simulation done in this video. So let's go ahead and sim the next season. We can go ahead and take a look at our lines. So Chase Pearson signs, that's good. And we can edit our lines at the start, and then we can go ahead and get a month or two of simulation done. Now we should be a better team than last year. Luff accepted, so that's good. So I'm really thinking that this franchise is really headed back towards that playoff streak. At least for the next 3 or 4 years guaranteed, probably 5 or 6. And hopefully get a cup in that move somewhere. So we're going to click done here now that we're up at the next season. So what we're going to go ahead and look at is I did make it so that the scouting is automatic. I do want to, so a contender buyer, that's our team status. So that's really nice to see. So what we're going to go ahead and look at is we are just going to go into the edit line screen, see if people grew, see if people didn't, and see what we're working with. So that is very promising to see. We have a depth. So Lucas Raymond up to an 88 overall at 21 years old. Larkin at an 89. Now Verana stayed still at 85, which I'm fine with. Zadina jumped to an 84. Hopefully he can jump throughout the season. Kopp and Perron also, so he stayed. He still has his top 6 exact, and he is 86 overall still. That's really nice for the rest of this season. And Bertuzzi is an 86. So we have some really, really good depth on this team. I feel like we have a lot of solid players. Let's check our defense. We have Miller, who jumped to an 84. Valimaki's an 82. So that's really nice. Now let's go look at Scratched. So Sundqvist and Clifton are definitely going to play. But what we're going to do first is I want to check the AHL squad. Let's see. So Casper jumped to an 80 or to a 77, which is really nice for us. Berggren is a 79. We're definitely going to want to get him playing way more time. So let's go ahead and toss Berggren up here. Rasmussen, we definitely want with time. Now Glendening, I think we're going to go ahead and make our depth player. I'm not sure. We might have a little bit too high of, we might have a little too many contracts. But this team overall looks so solid down here in the AHL. I don't see a world where they don't make a Calder Trophy run. So, Casper is still listed as a depth forward. I would like to get him second line time. He is only a center, and Rasmussen is center left wing, so we're going to go and switch them. Berggren is listed as a center, fourth line forward, so what we're going to do is toss him there. Glendening, I'm fine with getting second line time. Now, Casper is a two-way forward. Rasmussen is a sniper, and Glendening is a two-way forward. If Zarnik is a playmaker, yeah, so Zarnik being a playmaker, we're going to toss him up here. Sorry, Glendening. But I am good with all of these guys where they are. So my only question would be, maybe do I want to move Casper to getting first line time just to really boost him up? We can toss Rasmussen down here. Casper, Berggren, and Soderblom being this line. I think I want to do that. Let's go and check out our defense. So Edvinsson didn't get that much of a jump. He's only at a 76, but we are going to toss him on the first line. Now we have Wallander, McIsaac, who have a minus. I definitely don't want to have them be minuses. He's minor top 6, so he can still play on that 6th. He's 71, so he should still get some growth. Or he's 21, so he should still get some growth. But Lindstrom is going to get for Johansson. So Johansson and Wallander don't like it to get... Ooh, this might be a little tough now. Something like that, maybe... Johansson up there still puts a minus on that last line. There is nowhere that Wallander can play. I'm not putting... What does Evanson have? He has minor top 2. He has to play here. So there's no one that Wallander can play with where he doesn't get a minus, except for if we put Edvinsson down on this bottom line, and I don't want to do that at all. So I think what we're going to do is Wallander is going to be down here with Barton for 1 year. They still should be able to perform. He still is top 6 with decent potential. So we should be able to get some decent performances out of the AHL squad. Let's go ahead and look at Kosa. He's only a 76, but he should be able to grow pretty heavy throughout the next year and make the NHL squad as a backup next year, and then we can move on from Nedeljkovic. So now these NHL lines are going to be tough. So I know I signed Donskoy as a fourth liner, so I want him down there. Kubalik, Roslovic, and Bertuzzi. I'm thinking maybe switch Zadina with Roslovic and Kubalik, Bertuzzi with Kopp and Perron, and then Raymond with Larkin and Verana. I think I like that. The only thing I might do is maybe Perron on this top line, because Perron was the point leader for the team last year. So maybe getting him working up there wouldn't be bad. Hopefully it'll keep him from falling off. He was a 30-goal scorer, so that was the best year of his career, actually. He had the best year of his career in Detroit at 34 years old. So we're going to keep him there. Hopefully he can get some good stuff going. As far as defense goes, can we get Hronek up here? Yes, we can. Now, who was the guy? So Hag for... We want Connor Clifton in here for sure. So there we go. We have Connor Clifton and Colin Miller, Keandre Miller, and Yusuf Alamaki, and then Hronek and Sider. So this team is looking pretty good. Now I'm just making sure we don't get any pluses anywhere. No. Okay. So I think this is how it's going to work for this season. Let's go ahead and yeah, this team looks a lot better than it did last year. Much more depth. And Veleno is actually an 83. Nope, we're going to keep him fourth line time, even though it says third line scoring, because I don't want them getting a minus on that third line. So, yeah, I think we're going to run it like this. Who is scratched up here? Sunkfist and Hag. So roster moves, we're going to bring up Lindstrom since we took him out of AHL defense, I'm pretty sure. Let's just check, not team strategies. Let's go ahead and go to defense. Get off the strategies. Yeah, we did take him off. So we are going to go ahead and move Lindstrom up to the NHL. So go to roster moves. Let's get Lindstrom up to the NHL as that healthy scratch. Lindstrom here. He's up. So, honestly, I think both teams are looking really, really good. Now, I think what we're going to go ahead and do is just get into that first month and a half of simulation for this video. So, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now, we're not worried about preseason. We can take it as an indication if we want, but we are just going to go ahead and simulate at least up to the end of October. We'll see how it's sitting from there. If there are a lot of moves we want to make, then we will go ahead and stop it there. But if it seems like we're performing decently, which I think we should be, I think we're just going to keep it going and probably get to the end of November in this video. We will go ahead and see how it's sitting though when we get there. So I'm just clearing all these off so we're not interrupted by trades all the time, because I definitely have the squad I want, and if I want to make a trade, I'll make a trade. So I think that's how we're going to work this. We don't want any trades coming in and slowing us down. So let's jump right into the simulation here, the 2023-2024 season. So we're going to get through preseason here. Now, I'm expecting us to be a 40-win team. I'm expecting it. Keandre Miller's fully healed. We already had him in the lineup, so I'm not worried about that. So let's go ahead and get this preseason done. If it's any indication, we look decent. We are 5-2 in the preseason. So if it's any indication, it looks pretty decent. But we don't know if that's how it's going to be for sure. First game of the season against Ottawa, we win 5-4. Now, that's a lot of goals given up. I don't like that, but it's a lot of goals for. 3-1 against Chicago. So let's go ahead and see. Overtime loss 1-1-1. That's not an awful start. Let's go ahead and see how this continues. Buffalo is a team underneath us. Let's beat them. Stay on top. There we go. We beat the Islanders. We're 3-1-1. Connor Clifton has been injured with a mild concussion. Now he is on the bottom line, so I'm just going to do head coach replaces player. And then when he's ready to come back, that's when I'll edit it manually and bring him back. So 2-1 against Toronto, not too bad. 3-2 against Calgary. They did beat us up last season. So if anything, Moritz Seider drops until November 9th. That one we're going to have to go ahead and replace. So our defense is really going to be struggling for the next week or two. We're going to go Hronek and Miller. We're going to go Valimaki and Miller, and then we have to go Lindstrom and Hag, I think, which is definitely going to hurt us. Are they actually a -2? Let's see. This should auto refresh itself. That did. Let's check. Extra line should auto refresh itself. Extra attacker. So for now, extra attacker, we're going to toss on... We're going to toss on Lucas Raymond. So let's go ahead and get him in there. Now I want to go to even strength defense and see if that -2 is actually what it's going to be. Let's switch to the AHL, switch to the NHL, and it's not. Okay, so that's definitely a lot softer, but it's still not completely awful, so we might be able to pull this back. Let's go ahead and cancel the sim. Connor Clifton is fully healed. He was never out. At least I don't think so. And we take a shootout win against the Sharks. So we are 5-2-1 at the end of the first month, which isn't bad. Connor Clifton was out. He's the one that had the first injury. So let's go ahead and get him back in there. I think I'm going to take out Hag first, leave Lindstrom in. Let's go ahead and go back to defense. Now let's take out Hag for Connor Clifton. Let's go ahead and get him back in there. I like that. And then when what's his name? When Sider comes back, Sider will jump back up here. Keandre Miller back down with Colin Miller. We can get the Millers together and then Valimaki with Clifton maybe. Let's try that when he comes back. But let's go ahead and we're going to take a look at stats after 8 games. It is a small sample size, but let's just take a look, see what worked through the first month, see what maybe stopped us from being 8-0. So we're looking at Raymond, Verana, Perron, Larkin, Bertuzzi, Kopp. The top 2 lines are firing on all cylinders. So that is very good to see. We're looking at Moritz Seider was a +5. He did go down to injury, which sucks, but we got some good pluses here. Let's take a look at the minuses. So it was only Keandre Miller and Jonas Donskoy, and they were only -1. So definitely a very good first month for the Detroit Red Wings. Let's take a look at goalies. Nedeljkovic had 4 goals against and won his game, so not too great, but Husso is playing well. That's really nice to see. Let's go ahead and just take a skim. They've only played 3 games, so I'm not going to bother looking at that. Kosa has played incredibly. Let's see. Point leaders, we're looking at 5 for Hiroshi, 4 for Edvinsson, which is really nice. Soderblom has 4. Smith. Is it really just they're fully avoiding? So Casper on the top line only has 2 points, even though we're looking at Hiroshi having 5. Soderblom at 4. I mean, not too bad. So sorry, I wanted to get another drink of water. I think we are going to end this video after the month of November. So let's go ahead and get this month done. Sider will come back during this month, which is very exciting. He should come back, I think it said November 9th, so we're going to miss 4 more games with him. So let's go ahead and simulate up to here. 2 5-2-1 teams, and the Red Wings take it. I like to see that. 2 overtime/shootout wins in a row. Oh, Bertuzzi's injured. All right, let's edit lines manually. Bertuzzi's injured. Let's go ahead and get Zadina up with Verana and Kopp. Let's go ahead and who do we have that we can toss in this slot? We have Oscar Sundqvist, so I'm not too upset with that. Honestly, I might even just leave him there. I think Veleno down here, 3 assists. He's at a 0. He's only a center, whereas Sundqvist can play the wing. So let's go ahead and switch Kubalik and Sundqvist while Sundqvist is playing. But still, I still don't think our team looks too bad. This is what I mean about we have a lot of depth. We've got injuries, and our team still looks like a competitive team. So I'm really happy with the way I have this team structured, especially with the price that I have them structured at. Let's go ahead and keep simulating. Vancouver, we take a win off of. We're 7-2-1. That's big. Florida, 2-1 loss. That's not too bad. Moritz Seider is fully healed, so the team is only going to get better from here. Let's go ahead and do it manually. We are going to swap out Hag or Lindstrom and get Seider back in here. That is going to be a big bonus to our team that's already playing well, which I like to see. Let's go ahead and get Seider in there. Seider is going to jump up on the first line with Philip Hronek, Keandre Miller with Colin Miller, and then Valimaki with Clifton. I like that a lot. They're on their good sides. Yes, everyone is on their good sides. We just have an extra right-handed defenseman on our top line. So I am liking the way this looks. When Bertuzzi comes back, it's obviously going to be much more firepower, but I'm liking the way it looks. So let's go ahead and keep simulating. We got to cancel because this bugged out. All right, so we do take a win off of Carolina. We are 8-3-1. So let's go ahead and get up to the end of the month. Bertuzzi, I think, comes back in November, if I'm remembering correctly. And we are winning against good teams. So Tyler Bertuzzi is fully healed. Here we go. We did just take a loss to Boston, but that's not too bad. I think we are still in a good spot. Now Oscar Sundqvist is going to come out for Todd Bertuzzi. Let's go ahead and get him in here. Bertuzzi, we're going to toss back up on that second line. Zadina is left-handed. Kubalik is left-handed. Zadina can play either. Dominic Kubalik's a left winger. Let's go ahead and leave him over here. Get them on their preferred sides. Donskoy is a right winger, center, and left winger for these guys. So these guys probably are a little bit of minuses, but a little bit ain't bad. Let's see. We got Perron up at 10 points in 14 games. Larkin at 9. Lucas Raymond at 8. So the second line is what's producing. Verana's at 13 points, Kopp's at 12, Bertuzzi was at 9 and 10, Zadina's at 7 and 14. So we're definitely looking like a good team. The record definitely reflects that. So let's go ahead and just finish out this simulation. I'm liking the way this looks. See if we can. Okay, so we are on 2 losses. We don't want to take a third. And Edmonton does not hand us a third. So we take 4-1 to a good team like Edmonton. That's really nice to see. We're 10-5-1. See if we can maybe finish out the season a little bit better than double games over 500. Let's see. William Wallander has been injured with a mild concussion. Now he is on the bottom defensive line. So we're just going to replace player at the end of the month. It'll give us alert that he's back, and we can go ahead and replace him. 12-6-1 though. We're a good team. 12-7-1. 12-8-1. We need to win this. And we do win it. So William Wallander is back to play. So we're going to do a little wrap up here, and this will be the end of this video. So what we're going to go ahead and do is get Wallander back on defense. So take Sabrango off and get Wallander back in there. Now it is still -1, we know that, but I think this team is performing well. The way we're just going to check his goalie stats. Bednar has 7 wins in 8 games, and Kosa has 5 wins. So they have 17 games played and at least 12 wins. Well, they have 17 games played and 12 wins. So Bednar is actually playing outstanding. Kosa is playing well, but he probably has some overtime losses in there, hopefully. Let's look at full career stats. Hopefully he's not just 5-4. He is just 5-4, which is unfortunate, but we can take care of that at a later date. So let's go ahead and finish this up. We can head back to the NHL here. There we go. Actually, what's the AHL record? 12-4. So they are really kicking butt down there. 13-8 though, that does sit us in a playoff spot, which is really nice to see. It's not like we're fighting to get in one late. Verana is doing very well on points, which is good to see. But what we're going to go ahead and do is take a look at the full team stats. So Verana being the point leader is actually interesting. He is up there. Bertuzzi has 9 goals in 18 games, so he's definitely up there. That second line is actually really producing. The first line, for some reason, is a minus. Let's see, is the whole first line a minus? We have Larkin, Raymond. No, not the whole first line. Perron isn't a minus, but we have a lot of guys who are sitting up here close to a point per game. I would say probably up here is close to a point per game, so we have a decent amount of players up here. So that's looking pretty good. I don't think I'm too concerned with how that's working. We are winning games. Now, I don't know if I want to shake anything up because that second line is getting us a lot of production. Let's go ahead and look at goalie stats. So, yeah, Nedeljkovic is really hurting us. 869 at 3.75. Husso's simulating pretty well. Nedeljkovic will probably get moved on from. He's just not simulating well for us. Let's take a look at the AHL stats. Hirosi's playing well. Soderblom playing well again, so 79. That's good for us. Edvinsson, 8 points in 16 games, +4. That's really good. Luke Glendening, 8 assists. That's nice. Casper's only at 6 points. I just don't know why he doesn't get points during simulation. But we digress. So I honestly think we're in a good spot now. I'm going to have to switch back to the NHL, but I think that is where we're going to leave it. We're at the end of November. Both teams are sitting in playoff spots for sure. We are 4 points ahead on the other wildcard spot and then 5 points on the nearest wildcard spot from us. So we are sitting at least over 2 games ahead. I think we just had a stretch of decent teams that we played. Let's see. So the Senators, we lost to. That wasn't good, but the Canucks are second place in their division, 14-6-1. They're good. The Panthers are above us in our division, so they're a good team. So, yeah, it was just a stretch of good teams, and we did take 1 out of the 3. Might be giving up too many goals to those good teams, so maybe we can look at a little more defensive abilities. But I think that is where we're going to end the recording, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.